We're officially past the halfway mark of stage 2 of the CrossFit Games. Tommy Marquez here recapping all of the events from day 2 of competition now that things have wrapped up here in Aromas.
Starting on the women's side in the toes to bar lunge couplet, Katrin Davidsdottir came out to an early lead, but Tia-Clair Toomey tracked her down, strategically placing her kettlebells closer to the rig for the final round, and it was enough for her to reclaim the lead and the win to open up the day. In an almost carbon copy of the women's race before it, Ohlsen came out to an early lead in the men's event, only to see Fraser reel him in and pass him in the later rounds and march his way to a 5th event win of the weekend. After a short turnaround, things got heavy for the snatch, speed, triple, and the women were up first. And through all 3 rounds, as it has been all weekend long, it was the Tia-Clair Toomey show. Toomey never missed a lift, going 9 for 9, winning every single stage and the event in flawless fashion. Brooke got a nice little boost, finishing 2nd in the event behind Toomey. For the men, Adler called his shot, saying he was looking to take the win from presumptive favorite Fraser, but as they say, if you come at the king, you best not miss. And despite Adler and Fraser being the first 2 to the final barbell, it was Fraser who stuck the lift first and got another 100 points. In the afternoon, we broke out the bikes, and tell me if you heard this before. Tia Toomey gets out to an early lead, Tia Toomey holds on to that lead, and Tia Toomey wins the event. Well, that's exactly what happened, as Tia made it 3 straight wins on day 2, and after 2 rough morning events, Haley Adams bounced back nicely by finishing in 2nd. Early on for the men, it was Fraser and Justin Medeiros battling it out on the bikes, but in round 9, Adler says, I want a piece of the action, and actually passes Fraser going into the 10th and final round, but Fraser digs in and hits the booster saying, too soon, Junior, and pulls away for his 5th consecutive event win in a row. We finished the day at the ranch with a triplet of hill runs, burpees, and thrusters, and Brooke came out swinging in the first 2 rounds, but once again, Tia-Clair Toomey reeled her in during the later rounds and put the finishing touches on a perfect day 2 by going unbroken on the final thruster bar to win all 4 events in convincing fashion. Being the good training partner that he is, Fraser couldn't let Tia have all the fun, so he just decided to go out and win his 4th event of the day too. Fraser's burpee pace really set him apart, and by the end, he had a massive lead as he cruised to a perfect day 2 and his 8th event win in 9 events total. Looking at the overall standings after 2 days, and Tia-Clair Toomey is entrenched atop the leaderboard. Her lead ballooned to 290 points over 2nd place Katrin Davidsdottir in day 2, and only 80 points separate Katrin in 2nd from Brooke in 5th, and with an 85-point swing possible from 1st to 5th in every event, everyone is in the hunt for the podium at this point. On the men's side, Fraser is putting on a masterclass on how to thoroughly dismantle your competition. Through 2 days, he's basically got double the amount of points that his closest competitor does. Adler is currently in 2nd with 440 points, 435 back of Fraser, and only 45 points separate Adler, Kwant, Medeiros, and Ohlsen. So just like on the women's side, it's anyone's ball game for the remaining 2 spots on the podium.
We are on to the final day of competition and the final day of the 2020 CrossFit Games season. And you know what's waiting for the athletes? The hardest event in CrossFit Games history. That's according to Director of Sport Dave Katrin. Of course, after it's all done, we'll be here to break it all down for you guys on the Morning Chalk Up Instagram, morningchalkup.com, and cbssports.com.